There's a lot. There's a lot. Now, I tried to stack, because we went through some of the actual stuff yesterday. It was great, of Cassidy Hutchinson's stuff. So I thought today it'd be nice to do some reacting, and mainly to how the right is reacting to this. And I think one of the primary ones is okay, so we see Liz Cheney in this. We see Adam Kinzinger, two Republicans, and a clown in the middle. That would probably be, I don't know, the idea that it's a clown show or the person who's putting on the video. No more J6 nonsense. Oh, sorry, more J6 nonsense. The no part is up here. Is Cassidy Hutchinson the new Jussie Smollett? Because Republicans have such a narrow pop culture reference library. That's all okay. And again, the new Jussie. First of all, fuck Jussie Smollett. We've talked about this before. Like, I'm not retreading that ground. So the idea that somehow these folks are on Team Jussie or some shit is weird. The truth about the J6 committee, insanity. The truth about it. Okay, so this is from, I guess, Trump's son, allegedly, from one of the marriages. And this guy, Don Jr., we'll see if it's him.
There are three simple changes I tell all of my arthritis patients to make.
Wear a rubber.
Number one,
okay.
You have to start drinking.
Well, guys, yesterday.
Oh, God.
All my troubles seem so far away, guys. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe it, guys. In yesterday,
all right. Again, like shit is piling up on these shelves. He hasn't moved the G-spot stimulator. This guy right here. But there's like boxes of shit now. There's there's like, is that a rosary up in the corner? These are all just like shit people give him. That's what there's. Look at this. This is wrapped. I don't know, maybe it was his birthday recently. There's a lot of shit that's just in boxes around him. This isn't just going to be some asshole talking about Cassidy Hutchinson and claiming that you can't move in the beast the way she said you could. Bullshit, right? Yeah, that's Hunter Biden's laptop back there. I'm kidding. There is no Hunter Biden laptop. So let's see.
Well, guys, yesterday, the January 6th committee, they brought out a star witness, someone who's at the epicenter of everything.
Yeah, it was the executive assistant or whatever to Mark Meadows. She was present in more than this asshole was in his father's life over the last 4 years, if not altogether, as like during the entire time he was alive. There's an argument to be made that Cassidy Hutchinson has had more FaceTime and time spent around Donald Trump in 4 years and change than this asshole did in his entire life. Honest to God, there is a very strong chance that's true. Even in the building, they didn't see each other that often. Thank you, Deanne.
Her name, Cassidy Hutchinson. She was, today, 25 years old. So at the time,
yes, she was 21. Your father hired her?
3 years old. So you know she was in all of the real conversations and had the utmost credibility.
Well, first of all, no. Utmost credibility and worthiness to be in these meetings was never a standard in the Trump White House. Fucking Sidney Powell was in these meetings. Rudy Giuliani was in these meetings. His father would even argue that Jeff Sessions was in it. Bill Barr was in these meetings. Like, your dad doesn't think these people are qualified to be in these meetings. Qualifications had nothing to do with it. She was a 23-year-old beautiful woman. That's enough for a Trump to let her in the room, because they don't think women can hear. They don't think women have, and their opinions are worth a fuck. That's kind of the amazing thing, that there's probably a lot more women that were in the administration or around the administration in staff positions that heard a lot more shit, just like she did, because everybody who worked in the Trump White House was like, chicks.
She said something incredible. I was actually impressed. It made me more likely to vote for Trump. She says that after leaving his January 6th speech, Donald Trump essentially assaulted two United States secret.
Well, essentially. I mean, the assault level we're talking about is sort of on the Rudy Giuliani backclap level, you know. I'm just going to say that I don't think either of them felt in danger at any time, unless the car was moving at a high speed and they had yanked the wheel, but yeah, that didn't happen. I think they were sitting still when that altercation occurred. But I don't think, again, Donald Trump physically snapping, oddly enough, I don't know anyone who would be afraid of that. Right. And again, with Donald Trump, you know, steering wheels are like pussy. He likes to grab them, but once he's got a hold of them, he really doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Service guards took over the beast or the presidential limo.
No, or wasn't either.
Or whatever he was.
Or whatever he was. Well, he was the president. He's not the president anymore. This looks sane. Nice freeze frame. Fucking hell.
Jason Bourne.
No. Like he was a drunk who wanted pancakes in an Uber.
Trump is basically James Bond. 75.
No. First of all, talking about your dad using your own last name as an identifier, like it's his fucking pronoun, is really weird. It's very distancing. Imagine talking about your dad using your/their last name. You know what I mean? Just picture that. Think how fucking weird that is. Isn't that odd? Like, that really stands out to me. That is not something. I mean, I would be saying my father. That's just me. I mean, my dad. That's how I speak about my dad. So that's how I would relate it. But this idea, like,
Trump was literally, he was like a cross between Jason Bourne and the Randy's donut sign. He was like a Bosu ball. It was like James Bond made armor out of multiple Bosu ball halves. And right.
5-year-old Donald Trump beat up two heavily armed.
No, he didn't. As a matter of fact, the crux of the story is that the dude grabbed his wrist and was like, let go of the steering wheel, please. And he did. There was no one was concerned. But please continue to blow up the mythology of your father. Exaggerate this as much as possible so that you can straw man her story, which she heard from two Secret Service agents. If it turns out not to be true, the question will not be the truthfulness of the story itself, but why they told her a lie. Why did the two most loyal Secret Service guys to this asshole's father tell her a lie? If it turns out to be false, that's the actual story of this. The weird part is that I think they'll lie under oath to protect the former president because they see that as part of their job. And since the only people in the car that will talk about it are Trump, them, and Meadows, none of them and all of them got their story straight. They don't have anything to worry about. It wasn't like it was on tape.
Secret Service agents grabbed the wheel miraculously somehow from the back seat of the presidential limo.
He wasn't in the limo. He was in an SUV. He was in an SUV. He was in the Suburban. He was in the back seat. He was in the middle seat next to the door. You can see him waving at people as he fucking leaves. This is lazy. They didn't use the Beast. The Beast was never used. These assholes called it the Beast when they told her the story. But he was never in the Beast that day. He was always in the Suburban. It was a short trip. Fuck off, piss off, silly, dumb. Anyways.
And if you've been in them, and I have many times, folks.
I've been in it many times, folks. I've been munching down on a big, all right.
Okay, there's like 3 inches of armor plating. Even the SUVs, there's so much less room in there than a regular car. And if you know my...
Yeah, so everybody's closer together. Especially in the SUV. That's kind of the point. The doors are thicker, fucko. Meaning that even those seats in the middle, because it's still a Suburban, even those seats in the middle, you're like this. Because it's you're in a submarine with wheels.
Dad, he's a big dude.
Fat.
He wasn't doing this from the back seat because they don't let the president ride shotgun.
No, the guy was shotgun. That shotgun's in the fucking front, stupid. He's in the second seat. It's the same seat he was in when he did his Walter Reed jag around. Hold on. Trump, Walter Reed, SUV ride. Let's see if we can find a picture of this. Hey, look at that. It's the exact fucking vehicle. Here it is. That's it. There he is. This is it. This is the same fucking car. That's it. This is the one that left on January. Same shit. See this guy? See this guy? He's fucking up their ass in this shot. This is like, that's where he is. This is when he was at Walter Reed and he was sick and he was afraid people would think he was going to die. So remember, he went on a ride and endangered the lives of his Secret Service detail because he wanted to be trapped in a car with the windows rolled up, coughing fucking COVID on them before there was a goddamn vaccine at all. Because he was jacked up on steroids and monoclonal antibodies. Yeah, there he is. See, they even got the light on. Same fucking vehicle. He could reach up and touch that guy's shoulder right there. He didn't even have to lean forward to touch this motherfucker. If he leans forward, that's enough. So, yeah, there he is again. Here's the thing. That's the way. The same shit, same exact thing he was doing when he was leaving the rally. Same wave, same like, derp. So don't give me this shit about there's a mile wall between him and whatever. The glass is bulletproof and it's like 3 inches thick, but it doesn't, there's not a football field between them. It's just lame. This is just stupid. He was never in the Beast. Those guys called it the Beast because they called him Mogul and they called any vehicle he was in the Beast because they were stupid and they thought it was like Air Force One is, any airplane he's in. So if they commandeered a Piper Cub, it's suddenly Air Force One, which is a great, it'd be a good comedy plot for a Netflix film. But Air Force One. I'm praying that no one notices this shitty small detail in my story. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. He's fucked up on something and his nasal passages are gacked up with some sort of substance.
So, this goes viral. The story of Donald Trump trying to grab the wheel and grabbing a Secret Service agent by the throat until
we make up the lie about it being the Beast. And the guys that were in the car who are sycophantically supportive of my father say that they'll testify about it and then don't.
A source close to the Secret Service.
Yes, this is the Peter Alexander tweet. A source close to the Secret Service. And close to the Secret Service. Trump is close to the Secret Service. Technically. Every day. Melania is close to the Secret Service. I'm just running that by everybody. Okay.
Tells me that Bobby Engel, who was in the car,
yes, he was the guy who was sitting there going all fucked up after it happened.
Lead agent and the presidential limo and SUV driver are prepared to testify under oath that neither man was assaulted and that Mr. Trump never lunged for the steering wheel. Now,
okay. Does that mean they're testifying to protect the president because they still consider themselves to be on Team Trump?
What's really interesting is,
what do you do? The fuck do you do? What? I thought this guy's an executive VP of the Trump organization. What happens? Are they ever in that fucking building anymore? What is this? Yeah, what do you do? Coke. Yeah, besides Coke. What do you do besides Coke? is an excellent point. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry, chat room. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thumbs up. Support the show. Blah, 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 blah. It's well spotted. Well spotted.
Is that the House
Unselect Committee. I'm using my dad's term because nobody wants to look at. If I look up like this, no one knows I'm reading.
Unselect Committee, upon hearing that, has no interest in hearing from those Secret Service agents. So you have...
No, they already deposed them before about other shit. I mean, they could bring them back in, but... And they said they're prepared. I'm for it. She said today, by the way, she released a statement through her lawyers. Let me see. Hold on one second. Cassidy statement. Yeah, there you go. Statement on behalf of Cassidy Hutchinson issued by her counsel, Jody Hunt and William Jordan. Ms. Hutchinson stands by all of the testimony she provided yesterday under oath to the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. It should come as no surprise that this fuckstick is not under oath. Just saying.
Testimony. Normally you'd want to corroborate it. You want to build up the evidence to say that the testimony we have...
Okay, first of all, they're not charging him with attacking a Secret Service agent. This is an anecdotal story at best. So it's a waste of fucking time to reiterate this unless these assholes can disprove what she's saying. Right now, what you're arguing for is a he said, she said between the two of them. And secondarily, those guys will they testify, and the phrasing is really interesting, that the president didn't assault them. Well, because they didn't consider it the lunge assault. And he never lunged for the steering wheel because the idea was that he lunged for the guy's arm instead. And that's really what happened. So they're just like skating around the story to protect themselves. But ultimately, what she testified to was what those fuckers said to her. Now, if they were lying to her because they thought it would appeal to her, because they thought she was a chick in the office they'd like to impress with a horror story about the boss, that's on them. I happen to believe her. And I happen to think that whether the story is true or not, that's the story they told her.
Is great. Unless it's BS, folks. Which obviously it is.
Why is it obviously BS? Why is that obvious? Who's that obvious to? What's obvious to me is that of the people we're talking about, one has said something under oath. The other ones are saying, we'd be glad to. I tell you what, go sign an affidavit. You don't even have to go before the January 6th committee. These assholes, they all got lawyers. Trump's got a lawyer. They can all sit down and sign an affidavit. Ask Giuliani. He loves affidavits. Just sit down and go, I never said that to her. Signed, pow. I never said anything of the like. That never happened. Blah, blah, blah. Sign it and file it. You don't have to appear. Why wait?
Again.
Yeah, they testified about other shit. They just didn't testify about this because until they asked her about it, it wasn't part of the story. Oddly enough, the Democrats, in many ways, in the same way that they didn't think they would need to surround the fucking Capitol with 10,000 National Guard troops to keep maggots off the lawn, also never occurred to them that anybody in the Secret Service would be on the Trump team so hard that they would lie or obfuscate or help cover up crimes. But then I guess they've never seen The Last Boy Scout.
James Bond, a.k.a. Donald Trump, didn't...
Well, no, I mean, again, James Bond, I don't... Yeah, I'm trying to... literally, I've seen all the Bond films. I've seen all the... Yeah, all the Bond films, all the Bourne films, even the extended one with Jeremy Renner. And at no point is there a, him lurching from the back seat kind of scene or whatever. Most of the time he's in the driving seat and he just pushes a button and they leave, whatever. But then, of course, they might have had one of those in the car, but nothing's going to eject somebody Trump size.
Didn't steal the presidential limo? He didn't really try. I'm shocked.
Okay, this is just cover with hyperbole. He's basically making a big fat straw man with tiny little hands.
It was so believable, folks. It was so believable. And guess what, guys? If you're still believing this crap after the years of this crap, if you still believe it, Jussie Smollett has some waterfront and oceanfront property to sell you.
Both?
In Arizona.
Oceanfront and waterfront property in Arizona. Yeah, most of the time when people use an analogy like that, it's about rudimentary believability. But again, this is the idea in this. If they were going to use the Jussie Smollett story, ultimately, it's much closer actually to what happened to Rudy, which is probably why I'm going to guess, and I mean this seriously, that after this prick saw the footage of Rudy getting clapped on the back, they were calling him, Jussie Giuliani for a day. That's my thoughts.
Basically, Amber Heard was testifying yesterday.
No, that would be her friend who had heard other stuff, what Amber Heard had heard.
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, God.
Any number of the clown show brigade that we've been watching for the last few years.
Oh, you mean you, Eric, Ivanka, Jared, your dad? I'm sorry, Trump.
Anyone with an IQ above about 3.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I take it back. Not you, not Eric.
Who watched it.
Not your dad. You should clarify that before. Never mind. It's my fault.
Realized that it was nonsense, but that didn't stop the media. That certainly didn't stop the committee and the Liz Cheneys of the world.
There is only one Liz Cheney. I have to say, even Kitzinger and drag doesn't do her justice.
We're more than happy to have evidence out there that is ready to be disputed by multiple federal law enforcement officers who were actually witnesses.
Well, no, they were participants, but they were also on the president's detail, and therefore might lie specifically as part of what they believe to be their actions under the president's detail. The other thing, too, is that this might be one of the executive privilege moments that often gets covered under Secret Service. But I'm happy. Look, if they want to testify under oath and say they never told her that story, let's hear it. I'm all for it. But until that happens, I'm going with the woman who appeared and spoke under oath. See, I give her more credit for being on camera under oath, testifying for hours. She did 40 hours or some shit, not including yesterday. Right? That we recognize that? Okay. That she put the time in 4 times Hillary, right? With the committee, under oath, with notes, gave the notes afterwards to the committee. They're on record. I'm going to have a tendency to believe her until your dad shows up and talks under oath for 10 hours. That's all. I mean, it'd be real easy. Over in a day. Just, you know what? Your dad wants equal time. Knock yourself out. Hop in, swear, let them rebut his testimony. Tell you what, if your dad does what she did, then we're up to, like, I want 36 hours, 37 hours of on the record videotape testimony, and then you can come and do 2 on television. What do you think? And then you can do next. Until then, fuck you. Just breaking news, J6 committee issued Cipollone subpoena. Yeah, he's the tee-up. He's who they're going after. And I think he's gonna honor it.
One of the other officers, Tony Ornato, who was the head of the Secret Service, Cassidy says that he told her these things happen, and he said that that's not true.
Right. She said it under oath. He didn't. He's just doing it through a PR window. And by the way, if maybe he was on the same shit you're on and just doesn't remember.
But they don't want to hear from him, folks, because they got their narrative. They got everything.
I'm reading, it says right here, narrative. I put the word narrative on a piece of paper. Folks, This is, you would not believe the kind of
fucking hell, man. Back to the note. Like he's, whatever it is, whatever his notes are for this video, they're right down here somewhere. Jesus.
That they wanted. They don't need to do anything.
They don't need the guys.
So you know what? I know the Democrats won't go after their star witness when they perjure themselves. I know that I would not have gotten that benefit of the doubt, and I
Well, you could show up and testify under oath.
still won't.
Oh, no? Oh, that's because you won't testify under oath. Right. Why not? I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. You testify under oath. Let's hear it, motherfucker. Because the difference is with what everything else she said was corroborated in either messaging or testimony from other people. So it lines up with her trustworthiness on other shit. None of us are lining up to like blanket believe anything that came strictly out of somebody who worked in the fucking Trump or I thought we all had TDS, don't we? Don't we all have Trump derangement syndrome? Shouldn't I cancel or hate this woman just because she worked there? For fuck's sake, in her own testimony, when she's talking to Mark Meadows and he's holding both his fucking phones and he's got his glass on, she's like, and he hasn't called Jim Jordan to see if he's dead yet. And she's like, did you see Jim's speech? And he goes, yeah, it was great. What'd you think? She goes, yeah, it was great. She liked Jim Jordan's fucking speech on January 6th. I have no reason to like this woman in that regard. It's just that Donald Trump, like he did with Liz Cheney, daughter of Darth Cheney, Laura Ingraham, Ann Coulter, and an umpteen other relatively awful people, he managed to find Cassidy's line. He managed to find the point where, like, I'll do all this awful shit. I'll even believe something Jim Jordan says and appreciate it on the merits. What? Fuck that. But somehow this prick's father managed to find a point where she will not cross. You know how hard that is to do? Fucking hell.
They'll look for anything. If I put a comma in the wrong spot, they'll get...
Yeah, but that's because you're talking about dollars. Hey, anybody, you think it matters where you put the dollars and the decimal points and the commas in 100,000, 10,000, 3,000, $800 million? You think that and by the way, the comma in the wrong spot is their way of getting around all the lying to the bank, lying to the government. That's basically how the scam worked. He's telling you. They're telling you how the scam worked. Tell the bank it's worth 100,000. Move that little thing. Tell the IRS it's worth 10,000. Just move the comma this way and move the dot that way. Just move the period. And then if they bust you for it, you can go, oh, fuck, that was my bad. Hal, you were right. They just sent a subpoena to Pat Cipollone. I told you. I love somebody called him Patsy Baloney the other day. I was like, that's adorable. Patsy Baloney, which, by the way, sounds like either a country star ventriloquist dummy. Yeah, exactly. Kushner, $2 billion. Yeah. He's admitting the con. This is the con. That's what they do. All you do is, they get out for me if I put a comma in the wrong place. No, you didn't put it in the wrong place. You put it in the right place for the lie you're telling to different people. You inflated it. It was worth $10,000. It wasn't worth $100,000 at all. But you told the bank it was. And then you had something else where it was worth $100,000 and you told the IRS it was worth 10. And you moved the fucking comma and thought you'd get away with it. That's why they focus on that. His dad says that same shit all the time. It's always their reaction. It's all right. It's always the one they bring up. We put the comma in the wrong place. That's always their defense because they know that's where their guilt lies.
For perjury, but I sure as hell hope that the Republicans, when they take back the House in November, that they do go after these people.
Yeah, but even still, these people, you're not going to be able to get them for lying under oath because they're going to tell the truth. Because they have no reason to lie. They didn't do anything. None of the Democrats help people get guns onto the grounds of the fucking Capitol.
Because this isn't democracy, folks. This is crap.
Well, that settles it.
This is not democracy. This is crap.
And we're seeing more and more of it. And by
Well, you're seeing more and more crap. All right. Well, I mean, obviously you've been visiting with your father.
the way, I'll be back because I just saw another breaking story about
Another pranking story? Breaking story? Gibberish. Hold on one second.
after these people. Because this isn't democracy, folks. This is crap. And we're seeing more and more of it. And by the way, I'll be back because I just saw another breaking story about the lies from her supposed testimony. So the surprise
Well, there's no supposed testimony. It's actual testimony. You know. And again, what was the other breaking story? You can't just leave me hanging.
star witness, it was Jesse Smollett, folks. Juicy. He did it again. I was shocked. Trump was seen in the presidential limo.
Oh, he's just reviewing he's going back to the top of the paper. It's like when his dad's giving a fucking speech at one of these rallies and then kind of goes back to the first talking point. Yeah. Again, none of this matters. Say it under oath, asshole. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's stopping his dad. Do you think they would say no? Why? Why are any of them hiding from the committee? Why are they know it's being taped? And especially if you said, well, I'll testify live under oath. Fuck, man. Like every member of that committee would let's do it. There is no fucking way the committee would turn down Trump under oath for as long as he wants to sit there. So what's stopping him? I'll tell you what's stopping him. He is. Mysterious Mother says, Eric Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment 500 times in New York AG. Yes, that's in the, because that's the case he's talking about where they move a comma. That's the one they're in deep shit. This is where, by the way, more than likely, the worst they can fear in that case is multiple fines and a lot of money and maybe some seized assets. None of them are going to do any time for it because they're out of state and they fucked off and they're in the process of winding down the Trump org there anyways. But it means the end of Trump Tower, which would be hilarious. I mean, that's how this ends, by the way. This whole story grows into the removal of Trump Tower, the letters off that building. There'll be an epilogue where he does time or maybe, is sued by a bunch of people and, drinks urine out of mason jars while growing his fingernails like Howard Hughes in the attic of Bedminster. That's the epilogue. But the end of this story, as we all watch it play out in history, poetically and strangely it is, will be one of the big moments will be, and I think the final chapters where they're taking Trump Tower off that fucking building.
He was going away. He was yelling, "This is MAGA country." You can't make it up, guys.
Well, apparently you're saying they can make it up. And not only can you make it up, you can say it under oath, apparently. Your entire premise is that she's making it up. You fucking tool.
You can't make it up, guys. I mean, I can't. I mean, it's really what it is. I can't. I had to write it down. Someone sent it to me. Somebody from the Heritage Foundation. They sent me these notes. I can't. It's Chelsea Smollett, guys.
You can't make it up. This is MAGA country. Trump stole the limo from multiple armed agents. He's going rogue. He's Jason Bourne.
Oh, God, this is lazy.
Can't make it up stuff. Stop believing this crap, folks.
By the way, yeah, I agree. Stop believing this asshole's stuff. Okay, talk about an accidental tell at the end of a video. You do a whole video, and the last thing you say on your way out the door is stop believing this stuff, folks. Yeah. Sometimes the truth just kind of squeaks out like a fish delight fart in a limo. Good Lord. and again, this is what he does for a living now. Just to remind you, this is the whole job. This is it. This oh my God, guys. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. sorry, hold on.
Oh my God, oh my God, Jesus board. Oh my God, guys. Guys. Oh my God, guys.
How does he sleep? I think he just crashes, right? Isn't that what Coke does? You know, this appropriately enough, considering this asshole's father, this reminds me of an old Bill Cosby joke about cocaine. One of the few times that Cosby swore in his act. He asked a friend, this was in Cosby himself, I think. He goes, what is it about cocaine that you like? And he, that's so great about it. And the guy goes, well, it enhances your personality. And Cosby went, yeah, but what if you're an asshole? I think we've all learned a valuable lesson. That's it. Yes, booger sugar. One of my favorite phrases.